Enoch stood before the heavens, and the world never saw him die. Taken, vanished, ascended into mystery, his name burns through time like fire etched into stone. Thoth, the Egyptian god of wisdom and writing, the keeper of knowledge and cosmic balance, mirrors his shadow across civilizations. And here lies the shocking secret. The connection between Enoch and Thoth may hold the key to the first king of humanity, a truth hidden for millennia, waiting to be revealed. Why did Enoch disappear without a trace, walking with God yet never tasting death? Why do ancient records speak of Thoth as the first scribe, the master of books, the judge of the dead? Could these two legendary figures be one and the same? Could the Book of Enoch and the mysteries of Thoth be fragments of the same eternal story? In this video, you will discover the hidden truth of Enoch's encounter with the divine, the parallels with Thoth's wisdom, and why the idea of the first king changes everything we thought we knew about the Bible, about Egypt, about human destiny itself. You will see how their stories converge, how their legacies whisper of ancient knowledge that still has the power to heal souls today. This is not just history. It is a call to your spirit. If Enoch could walk with God, if Thoth could inscribe eternity, then you too are part of a story larger than life itself. Comment your thoughts below, because this mystery demands debate. Like if these secrets awaken something inside you. Subscribe to walk with us through the hidden paths of the Bible and the echoes of Egypt. The journey has only begun, and you are meant to be here, Enoch, the man who walked with God. Enoch's name burns like a hidden flame in the pages of the Bible. While every other patriarch is remembered by the length of their years and the dust of their death, Enoch stands apart. Scripture whispers, "And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him." No funeral, no grave, no farewell. One moment he was among men, the next he was lifted into mystery. This single line shakes the foundations of everything we think we know about life and death. Imagine the fear, the awe, the questions of those who lived after him. Where did he go? What did he see? What knowledge did he carry away into the heavens? Enoch is more than a name in a genealogy. He is the prototype of hidden wisdom. In ancient Jewish writings, especially the Book of Enoch, he becomes the scribe of eternity, entrusted with secrets that angels revealed, secrets about the creation of the world, the movements of the stars, and the destiny of humankind. He is painted as the one who wrote the first sacred books, who understood the mysteries of heaven long before men carved laws into stone. His life was not about power or kingship on earth, but about being chosen as the messenger of divine wisdom. Think of the power of that calling. While kings ruled with armies and gold, Enoch ruled with knowledge. He did not build empires of stone, but empires of truth. That is why so many traditions later began to whisper that Enoch became Metatron, the heavenly king, the first crowned ruler of angels, sitting beside the throne of the Almighty. His legacy teaches that the greatest authority is not violence or wealth, but the ability to walk in unity with the divine, to live in harmony so deep that even death has no claim over you. This is where the healing lesson lies. The story of Enoch invites you to believe that your path is not chained to mortality alone. You are called to walk in light, to choose a higher way, to step beyond the noise of the world. Enoch's disappearance is not just a mystery of the past, it is a promise for every soul that longs for more than dust. If Enoch could walk with God and transcend the grave, then you too can choose to live beyond fear, beyond despair, and carry a light that heals others. Comment your thoughts. Do you believe Enoch was truly taken into heaven, or could his story be a coded memory of something humanity has forgotten? But there is more. For when we look beyond the Bible and turn our eyes toward Egypt, we find the shadow of another figure who mirrors Enoch's path. His name is Thoth, the god of wisdom, the inventor of writing, the keeper of balance, and in his hands the destiny of knowledge was preserved for generations. This is not coincidence. This is a signal that the story of Enoch may not belong to Israel alone. It may be the shared memory of all mankind. Thoth, keeper of eternal wisdom. In the golden sands of Egypt, where temples rise like mountains of stone, Thoth appears as the ibis-headed scribe, the recorder of all deeds, the divine judge who measures every heart against the feather of truth. Just as Enoch walked with God and became the heavenly scribe, Thoth was said to be the first writer, the first keeper of sacred words, the one who taught humanity the art of recording the eternal. Do you feel the connection? The parallels are too strong to ignore. Thoth was not only the god of writing, but the guardian of balance, the one who kept the universe aligned. In myths, he stood beside Osiris in the judgment hall, writing down every verdict, every soul's fate. Does this not sound like the book of life mentioned in Revelation, where the deeds of men are recorded for judgment? In both traditions, knowledge is not just information, it is the power that determines eternity. Examples from Egyptian temples tell us that scribes dedicated their lives to Thoth, believing that every word written was a reflection of eternal truth. In the same way, the Book of Enoch describes heavenly tablets where angels wrote the history of the world. This is not two separate stories, but one song sung in different tongues. The lesson is profound. Wisdom is not the property of one nation, one tribe, or one religion. It is the eternal river that flows through every people, calling us to remember that truth cannot be chained. Thoth, like Enoch, reminds us that the pursuit of knowledge is holy, that every word you write, every truth you speak, becomes a stone in the foundation of eternity. This is why civilizations rise and fall, but their wisdom endures. The pyramids may crumble, but the words carved into their walls still speak. The scrolls may fade, but the message of Enoch still burns. What does this mean for you today? It means you are not just a spectator of history. You are a participant in this ancient story. When you choose wisdom over ignorance, when you choose truth over lies, you walk the same path as Enoch and Thoth. You join the lineage of those who carry the torch of eternal knowledge. This is your inheritance, and here lies the spark of controversy that cannot be ignored. Could it be that Enoch and Thoth are not two separate beings, but two faces of the same archetype, remembered differently by Israel and Egypt? Could the first king be the one who ruled not with a crown of gold, but with a crown of wisdom, uniting heaven and earth through knowledge? The possibility itself is electrifying. It forces us to rethink history, to reconsider what we thought we knew about the origins of faith, law, and the destiny of humanity. This is not a dry debate for scholars. It is a living fire for your soul. Because if these stories converge, then your life too is part of that convergence. You are invited to live with the same courage, the same hunger for wisdom, the same commitment to truth that made Enoch vanish into light and Thoth immortal in myth. This is why the message heals. It calls you to rise above fear, to embrace knowledge as power, to trust that truth will guide you even when the world grows dark. Let your heart wrestle with this mystery. Was Enoch taken by God into the heavens? Was Thoth truly the first scribe of eternity? Or are both names pointing us back to the same hidden source of wisdom that shaped the earliest stories of mankind? Share your thoughts in the comments, for your voice is part of this search for truth. Like this message, if it awakens your spirit, and subscribe to continue walking these ancient paths, where Bible and Egypt, Enoch and Thoth, light and mystery, meet as one. And now the story flows forward, For beyond Enoch and Thoth rises the question of the first king, the true beginning of divine kingship. That mystery waits ahead. The sacred convergence of Enoch and Thoth. Two rivers of memory flow from different lands, yet they meet in one ocean of mystery. Enoch, the prophet who vanished into the embrace of God, and Thoth, the Egyptian god of wisdom, mirror one another in ways too striking to dismiss. Both are scribes of eternity, guardians of divine knowledge, voices that echo beyond time. Imagine the people of ancient Israel, whispering about Enoch's heavenly ascension, while on the banks of the Nile, priests spoke of Thoth, inscribing the fates of men. The parallels shine like fire in the night. Enoch, writing the secrets of the heavens in his book, Thoth, inventing writing to preserve truth forever. Could these be fragments of the same story, carried through different tongues? Consider this. Enoch is remembered as the first human who recorded divine wisdom, a man who walked so close to God that he became more than mortal. Thoth is honored as the first teacher of language, who gifted humanity with the power to capture thought in symbols, so no truth would ever be lost. This is not just coincidence. It is evidence of a sacred convergence, a memory shared by civilizations, separated by deserts and rivers, yet united by the same hunger for truth. Scholars may dismiss it as myth, but the fire of this connection refuses to die. There is a healing lesson hidden here. Knowledge is never bound to one culture, one book, one temple. It is like light itself, meant to spread, to heal, to awaken. When you pursue wisdom, you are walking in the steps of both Enoch and Thoth, joining a lineage of seekers who believe that truth is the most powerful crown. Comment. Your thoughts. Is this a case of cultural borrowing? Or are we staring at a deeper reality? That humanity once remembered a single figure of wisdom, now divided into two names. The lesson calls you higher. If Enoch and Thoth are two reflections of one eternal truth, then the story of humanity is not division, but unity. The mysteries of the Bible and the myths of Egypt are not enemies, but companions, pointing to a hidden root. And this root, if found, may reveal the true identity of the first king, the one who ruled not with armies, but with wisdom, whose throne was knowledge itself. The question burns, was Enoch the first king of heaven? Was Thoth the first king of earth? Or were they one and the same? The first king, the hidden ruler of humanity's beginning. In ancient Egypt, Thoth was sometimes called the one who opened the first dynasty, the master of divine law, the ruler through wisdom. In Jewish mysticism, Enoch is transformed into Metatron, the crowned prince of heaven, seated beside the throne of God. Do you see the mirror? Both traditions speak of a first ruler, not of bloodshed, but of light. Both traditions proclaim that the greatest power is not war, but the authority of wisdom. Think of the contrast. Hammurabi of Babylon carved his code into stone and ruled with earthly might. Pharaohs built pyramids to proclaim their glory. Yet Enoch and Thoth reveal another path, to rule through knowledge, to reign through truth. This vision is radical. It says that the first and truest king was not a conqueror, but a teacher, a healer, a scribe of eternity. And perhaps this is why his memory survives across cultures. Because such a ruler was unlike any other. Imagine the people who heard these stories. For Israel, the tale of Enoch was a promise that faithfulness leads to glory beyond death. For Egypt, the presence of Thoth was assurance that justice and wisdom would outlast chaos. And for us today, the convergence of these stories is a reminder that the real kingship you are called to is not domination, but illumination. Your legacy is not in what you conquer, but in what you write on the hearts of others. This is the healing power of the first king, to awaken in you the truth that wisdom is royalty, that compassion is dominion, that the pen and the word are greater than the sword. The Bible whispers it through Enoch. Egypt declares it through Thoth. Together they cry out that knowledge itself is the crown of eternity. Now the story turns to its climax, for if there was such a first king, then the line between myth and history begins to blur. Was there a real figure whose memory became Enoch in one land and Thoth in another? Could humanity's oldest wisdom be the legacy of a single luminous being whose name is lost, but whose light still shines in scripture and stone? This is the question that stirs the soul, and it leads us onward to the heart of the mystery that has waited for ages to be unveiled. Legend or living? Memory. The story of Enoch and Thoth stands at the edge of mystery, and here is where the heart must decide. Are these tales only legends crafted by ancient scribes, or are they fractured memories of something humanity once knew and then forgot? Across centuries, scholars have debated, archaeologists have uncovered fragments, and seekers have whispered possibilities. To some, the Book of Enoch is a myth, a collection of dreams from an ancient age. To others, it is a hidden record, a testimony of heavenly visions too powerful for ordinary eyes. In Egypt, Thoth is painted as a god. Yet what if he was once a man whose wisdom was so radiant that he was remembered as divine? Think of how history works. When an ordinary man does something extraordinary, generations later he is no longer remembered as human, but as legend. Consider Alexander the Great, remembered not just as a conqueror, but as a demigod in later traditions, or Gilgamesh, a king of Uruk, whose deeds became an epic that blurred the line between flesh and eternity. If history can transform mortals into myths, then why could it not be that a real figure, a first king of wisdom, became Enoch to Israel and Thoth to Egypt? This is where the lesson cuts deep. Humanity often divides truth from myth, Bible from history, Egypt from Israel, but the ancient world did not see such rigid walls. For them, a story was not merely fact or fiction, it was memory encoded in symbols, truth carried in poetry, reality hidden in sacred language. To dismiss the connection between Enoch and Thoth as pure legend is to risk losing the thread that ties us back to humanity's oldest wisdom. But to embrace it blindly as literal history is to miss the beauty of the symbols that heal the soul. The balance is to honor both, the history and the mystery, the fact and the faith. A powerful example lies in the flood. Almost every civilization carries a flood story. Mesopotamia, India, China, even Native America. Were they all copying one another? Or were they preserving a shared memory of a catastrophic event that shaped human destiny? The same question rises here. When two cultures speak of a heavenly scribe, a bringer of wisdom, a ruler of divine law, are they inventing myths, or are they recalling a real figure who left his imprint on the human heart? The convergence is too exact, too luminous to ignore. The healing truth is this. Whether Enoch and Thoth are myth or memory, their stories still shape you today. They remind you that you are not only flesh and blood, not only bound by time. You carry the same hunger for wisdom, the same longing for eternity, the same desire to live beyond the grave. Their stories whisper that you are part of a larger pattern, a tapestry woven across nations and centuries. When you seek knowledge, when you walk with God, when you inscribe truth in your own life, you become part of this living memory. Let your imagination rise. What if Enoch's disappearance was not only a divine act, but also a way of saying that humanity's search for wisdom will never end? What if Thoth's writings in Egypt were not only myths, but a reminder that truth belongs to everyone, not just one people or one book? What if both names are torches handed down, lighting the path so that no generation will walk in total darkness? This is the invitation of legend, to see yourself not as a spectator of the past, but as a participant in the same eternal drama. Comment. Your thoughts. Do you believe Enoch and Thoth were real beings whose legacies were preserved in different tongues? Or are they symbolic archetypes, pointing us to the truth that wisdom itself is the first king of humanity? Share your perspective, for this mystery grows richer when voices unite. Like if this story awakens in you the desire to seek knowledge beyond the ordinary. Subscribe to continue this journey, where myth and memory converge, where legend breathes with life, and where you will find that your own soul has always been part of the story. And now the thread pulls us forward, because beyond the debate of legend and history lies something even deeper. The legacy of Enoch and Thoth for the present age, the call to live today with the same courage and wisdom that once shook the ancient world. The mystery of Enoch and Thoth is not just a story from dusty scrolls and forgotten temples, it is a mirror held up to our souls. Enoch walked with God until he was no more, stepping into eternity without tasting death. Thoth guarded the wisdom of Egypt, writing the destiny of men and weighing every heart against truth. Two names, two cultures, two legacies, yet one burning question. Were they fragments of the same eternal memory, whispers of the first king who ruled through wisdom and not through war? This question lingers, not in the past, but here, right now, calling to you. Close your eyes and picture it. The ancient desert night, stars blazing above. A scribe bends over his tablet, carving words meant to last forever. Those words could be the visions of Enoch or the inscriptions of Thoth. Yet the power is the same. Knowledge preserved for generations, light captured in lines. Humanity has always feared forgetting, always fought against silence, always yearned to pass down truth. That is why these two names endure, because they carry not just history, but hope. This hope is for you. Maybe your life has felt ordinary. Maybe you think your voice is small, but remember this. Enoch was just a man until he walked so closely with God that he transcended mortality. Thoth may have begun as a memory of a teacher whose wisdom was too bright to fade, and that wisdom grew into legend. What does that mean? It means you, too, carry the spark of eternity. Your choices, your words, your pursuit of truth can echo beyond the span of your years. This is not just their story, it is your story. The healing lesson is clear. The crown of the first king is not made of gold, but of light. True power has never been in swords or thrones, but in wisdom, compassion, and truth that survives death itself. When you write words of kindness, when you live with integrity, when you dare to seek answers others fear, you are walking the same path as Enoch. You are inscribing eternity like Thoth. You become part of the river of wisdom that has flowed since the beginning of time. That is not myth. That is destiny. But the question will not let go. Were they real? Was Enoch truly taken up by God into the heavens? Was Thoth a divine being? Or was he once a man whose brilliance was remembered as godlike? Could the two have been one soul remembered differently by two great civilizations? Comment your thoughts, because this is not a question that should remain silent. Some will say it is all allegory. Others will swear it is history, but your voice matters. Debate shapes understanding, and together we piece the fragments of this ancient puzzle. And yet, beyond all debate, what remains is the light. Enoch and Thoth are reminders that wisdom is not bound to time, culture, or place. They are proof that humanity has always longed for something greater than survival, always reached for eternity. And if you are listening now, it is because your heart knows you are part of that same search. You are not alone. Across time, across space, across every border, there have always been seekers like you. So let this be your invitation. Walk with God as Enoch did. Write truth into the world as Thoth did. Become part of the legacy of the first king, not by conquering, but by illuminating. If this message touched your soul, if it helped you glimpse light in the midst of darkness, I invite you to give back a little energy so that I may continue to create these stories that keep the flame alive. Every bit of support, every word of encouragement is priceless beyond measure, because it means this work is not in vain. Like this video if it awakens something in you. Subscribe if you wish to keep walking these hidden paths where Bible and Egypt, myth and memory converge. Share it with someone who needs to remember that their life carries meaning beyond what they see. And above all, comment with your own thoughts. Do you believe Enoch and Thoth were two names for the same eternal figure? Or do you see them as symbols pointing us toward the truth that wisdom itself is king? The conversation is as valuable as the story itself. Thank you from the depths of my heart for walking with me through this journey. Your presence here means more than you know. May the wisdom of Enoch guide your steps, may the light of Thoth illuminate your path, and may you carry this truth with you. You are part of the eternal story, and your life, like theirs, can shine into forever.